Inspector General of Police, the two DIGs, my sister Anne, from my father and all of you good people. It gives me great pleasure to be here this morning. And I'll be very brief. I have requested the IG that after I make some remarks, he affords me an opportunity to have a closed-door meeting with you, because there are certain things I would like to speak to you that are sensitive enough that I would like to have a conversation away from the press. But let me start first of all by thanking CS Musheru and our colleagues in the Ministry of ICT. We have opened up probably an unprecedented partnership between the internal security sector and the Ministry of ICT. The first thing I need to say here is that we are going to make very heavy investments in the deployment of technology to support the work we do in the security sector, in policing our borders, in sharing information. And many of you know, and later on when I speak to you in camera, I will be able to share some of the things that we've done, and you have witnessed yourselves the successes that we have had in certain cases that we have been dealing with recently because of deployment of technology. And we want to make it even better as we move forward. And so I'm so grateful that we have this very strong and solid partnership with the Ministry of ICT, and your team from the ICT Authority has been supportive, very, very supportive indeed. The ongoing police human resource information management system is going very well. As at this morning, we have registered close to 20,000 police officers, and it is moving. We are increasing the pace so that we can register all the police officers in the country, including the KPRs and NPRs by the end of February. Let me congratulate you, first of all, those of you who have been appointed regional commanders. And, I have had occasion to work with some of you very closely, and I know some of you at a personal level for the last 1 year. And I can say, without appearing to, to PR, I frankly believe it right from the bottom of my heart that we have some of the finest police officers in this continent. The work that you people do is fantastic, and as a citizen of this country, first of all, and now as your minister, I am sincerely proud of the work that our police officers do. And I can see clearly from where I sit that we are improving rapidly, including in the manner in which we are deploying technology, our new partnership with IBM, and what we want to do with the Internal Affairs Unit, so that we get real data from the public on the issues and concerns the public has about the work we do, so that we respond in real time, because that is what this is all about. But let me say that we are here because we are beginning to institutionalize our journey towards a totally modernized police environment. This training and this meeting we have here is part of our process of institutionalizing our reform process within this police force, or police service, sorry. Because we want to make sure that the things we say and tell the public are things that we want to make our way of life as senior police officers. And I want to tell you very frankly, my colleagues, our reform program, the President's vision to reform us totally, to transit us completely from being a police force to a police service, will succeed or fail depending on how you, as the leaders of our police teams across the country, work. So you are very, very important. You are the junction. You are the nexus between our plans, our vision, and our thinking in the headquarters here, and the practical reality in the field and what happens there. Because you are the conveyors of our plans and our desires to the police officers who are working out there. So how you transmit what we all intend to do by how you interact with the police officers and how you manage them is what is going to make the difference. And that's why we're having the training today, so that we understand each other, so that as soon as you report in your respective stations, you will begin that journey of having a new police service out there in the field. A lot has been said, and I want to thank the Inspector General of Police and the DIGs for the work that they have done. I have had occasion to look at the design of this program and what you are going to learn. This is very good, and it's phenomenal for our country. I mean, let's be very honest. Looking at where we've come from and where we are at today, we are offering high-level senior training for our police officers, and we are going even higher. Soon enough, His Excellency the President will break ground for our new, modern, and one of its own kind institution on the continent, our Senior Police Leadership Training Campus in Karen, where we now want to interact with best practices globally in policing and bring brothers and sisters who are doing policing in other environments to train us, because the work we do requires that we improve and we increase the capacities that we have. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is very important. You should be grateful to God, and I should be too, that we have this opportunity at this point in time to drive the changes that we all desire in our police service. As you go out, I want to urge you, number one, to understand that policing has changed. Long time ago, we used to think that all you needed to be a good police officer is muscle, a rungu, or a gun, and some sort of voice so that you push people around. Now we know you need a hell lot more than that. Crime has become sophisticated. We are dealing with a highly sophisticated criminal environment. If you know the amount of time we are spending these days, even with our colleagues from IG's shop at the DCI, Crime Research Center, the information we are sharing, we don't have to say everything, the media is here, with our colleagues from Interpol, and the challenges we face as a world today. It's amazing. You cannot rely on just being able to hold a weapon as a way of dealing with crime. Now we have to think differently. We have to acquire different resources, my brothers and sisters. Those resources include acquiring more knowledge, understanding the sophistication of crime, understanding the environment in which we live. Number two, we must now be a service. The desire of our president is that we transit completely and become a service as required by the Constitution. That's why we are called a national police service. What that means is that we have to provide security within an inclusive environment. Communal inclusion is fundamental to our success. Engaging with communities, with the people that we are managing is very critical to the work that we are going to do. I want to be very honest with you. You guys, we have to be practical now in the manner in which we work. I would like you, remember last week when we were in Mombasa, the Coast Regional Police Commander, those good people we were meeting, the Council of Imams, civil society organizations, local community groups, it's no longer, long time ago people used to think maybe it worked then, it cannot work now. That as security people, we are not supposed to sit down with others. What we are supposed to do with them is beat them when they ask us questions, or chase them away, or never allow them to come near us. That madness is gone. We have to police in a new environment. We have to have meetings with our people. We are serving Kenyans. So, civil society organizations in your area of jurisdiction, all those who work there, faith-based agencies, if there is a local, committee of the Council of Imams, NCCK, church organizations, meet them, sit down with them. I would be happy to have my regional police commander who sits down with the Catholic Archbishop of your jurisdiction from time to time, who sits with the Vicar General from time to time, and you discuss how we police and serve those people, because they definitely have ideas and they definitely understand those communities, sometimes even better than we may understand them. So, good people, we have to change our approach, engage and immerse ourselves in the communities, be deep with our people. Long gone are the days when we thought that it's more powerful and good to stay away, to be aloof. No, now we have to walk into the communities and work with the communities. local village elders, Nyumbakumi people. I have been reading reports from some of our national administration people, and I have come to this conclusion. Even some of the work we are doing, let me be very frank with you guys, even some of the work we are doing here, IG knows, in Boni, in some of these areas where we have special operation areas, the police officers who have succeeded there, even the KDF officers who have succeeded there, who are leading teams there, are those who are engaged with communities, who say, oh, that group does not have water, I can use the Bowser to give them water. Those local, community people, help them, work with them. I can go and sit down with them. Someone has passed away in that village. I'm the regional police commander here. I will pass by there and say Pole and shake hands with those people and go there with the regional commissioner, so that they are dealing with human beings. They are not dealing with people who are totally unfeeling, who have nothing to do with their lives. Number 3, we must manage the people we have been given. I have to admit here, and under IG we have discussed this thing before, this is an area where we have not done very well. Sometimes it's good to be very honest. I have been sitting down, sometimes we go to functions. The other day we were at the airport to have lunch with the police officers at the airport, and I sat next to 2 police constables. I was having lunch with them and asking them questions. So how are we doing here? How many times do you have meetings with the OCS and everything? One area we must improve in the police service, one area we must improve from this day forward, is managing the police officers we have in our church. You regional police officers must manage the people we have given you. Managing people means visiting them, sitting down with them and listening to them. If you go to a region, just imagine, and find a regional police commander who doesn't visit police stations, what do you think you are supposed to do there? Service is about interacting with the people you're working with. It's not about bossing people around. I want to plead with you. We must walk away from that habit and go to the police stations. Some of these young police officers who have been posted, some of our police officers who are committing suicide because they are frustrated and so on. Sometimes something goes wrong. It is us who have to sit down with them, Banandolo, and tell them, you are worried about being posted here today in Kwale. I started in Kabedo, then I went to Nakuru, then I went back to Kajeliba, then I've worked in Mpeketoni, then I've worked in Boni, then now I'm here, and nothing has gone wrong. Don't be frustrated. Life is like this. Encourage them, Dr. Mahoa. That is it. Encourage people. I mean, these police officers, mentor them. We need to develop a solid, strong mentorship program within our service. That way, then, we will grow police officers who are confident, who are ready to serve, and whom we are able to help. Let's know these people. I mean, some of them could be going through ordinary challenges in life, very ordinary challenges. They have disagreed with their girlfriend. For a young person at that particular age, they think that is the end of the world. They think now, dunia imekwisha. She has said she doesn't want me and so on. We have to sit down with them. You are experienced people, Wanakitili, to tell them, don't worry, occasionally it happens. Try to talk to her a little bit, she might change her mind. But in the event that she will not change her mind, we will pray with you and hope that you will get another one who will listen to you and work with you, so that they don't commit suicide and so on. So that is the way we need to work on this. Otherwise, I know IG, the program that we have for counseling services that we want to provide in the police force, let us also be frank here, that even if the IG is trying to employ doctors, he's trying to bring along people to help us with counseling, my brothers and sisters, that is not enough. We have to support the IG in that particular work. We have to work together, grow the people that we have. Fourthly, I have asked the IG that beginning this year, I want us to run a competition, which is now going to become our way of life in this country, in the police service. Every year, we will begin at the county levels and go to the regional levels and go to the national levels. I would like us to identify the best police station in the country. Criteria is going to be given out by the IG. We have been discussing this, so a committee is going to work on this and give you regional commanders the criteria and so on. And they will begin the assessment after July, when you have had enough time to talk to your commanders in the field. Police station that is very friendly and will involve members of the public in various jurisdictions to get comments from them. Clean. Who told us that we cannot have clean police stations? We must have clean police stations and tell the OCSs in your jurisdiction. We are beginning this campaign. I will go to Naivasha police station myself. That's where we are going to begin the campaign. We agreed with the IG. The new campaign for clean police stations. We want clean police stations. When wananchi come to be served, let them be served in a clean and respectful environment. You cannot enter a police station. You know, this is also an aspect of human rights. You know, people are being served in an environment that is demeaning. You know, there's a stench, it's not clean, and so on and so forth. Yet, I mean, what does it cost? And then we partner, we've worked on this program, we partner with our colleagues in the Correctional Services Department, so that the police stations, especially the big ones, are served by the correctional services facilities within their jurisdiction. And we clean police stations so that we have very hospitable environment within which we work. And IG, we agreed, my good friend from the National Police Service Commission, the OCS of the cleanest and best police station in the country should be promoted automatically. The one who emerges top, Amaram Nangani, yes, should be promoted automatically. So once we have done that every year, and exactly, we know it mean a clean police station. It means including the holding facilities, the cell that you have within that station should be cleaned. Tafadhali tusiweke watu wetu kama ni wanyama, because you see, the best way of telling how we take our responsibilities is how we manage the environment within which we are working and within which we do these things. My last point, which is point number 5, and I'll talk a little bit more later, is the question of supervision. I have been, since I came to the Ministry of Interior, okay, these days, I sometimes, most times I move around, not necessarily with the media, especially when I'm going to police stations, because I don't want our police officers to think I'm trying to embarrass them. I have been to numerous police stations. Everywhere we go, IG knows. When I see a police station, I drive in, find out, what is going on. I went to a police station, I don't want to say the name, another day, at 9 o'clock I drove in. The OCS was brushing his teeth, he was rushing there, with a bit of toothpaste. I was with the PS, Kibicho, on that day, 9 in the morning. Another police station in Western Kenya. I was coming from a function in Kakamega. I told IG about it. I don't want to mention it. I got some point, I saw a signpost, police station. I told the driver, let's go in. We went in. We could not find the OVP. I mean, Madam Kiko is shocked. We could not find the OVP. The OCS looked for it all over, under the table, whatnot. We couldn't find it. I left the station without signing the OVP. It wasn't there. And then that could be replicated in so many police stations. You are senior police officers, you know the role of the OVP, isn't it? So if you can't find an OVP in a police station, what is that telling you? It tells you that no senior person has gone there in recent times. We are tujiambie tu ukweli sisi tukiwa pamoja hapa. Sometimes I think, I just like being honest. We have to just pull up our socks. Hii maneno hatuwezi kukubali. Let us supervise. Tumepewa kazi kufanya na tuifanye tafadhali. Sasa una gari, una mafuta, you are the regional police commander, we have county police commanders. What stops you from driving into a police station and finding out what is happening? You will sit there sometimes, drive in over lunch hour, and sit there with the police officers and find out what is going on. Have lunch with them, go to the canteen, find out what's going on there. That is how you may actually get an opportunity sometimes to meet a police constable who has an issue and so on. And you can look at a guy and tell him, you look like you didn't sleep enough last night. Is there a problem? You talk to them. I was very happy, and I must say this, and I told IG, when I went to Garissa, I went with Mwamburi. That time he was the county commander. And you see how people finally get promoted. I went with him, and I was extremely excited and happy about how he had maintained the police canteen. We went with him at night I didn't tell even the regional commissioner. At night I went to, I asked where is the police canteen and what have you. Then we drove at night. I turned up there with him. I was very happy about how the ambience he had kept in the police canteen, and you know, the police officers who were there. We had a drink, bought them a drink, we had a good conversation with them. And I told the IG, I met a police officer I'm very, very happy with, and I was very, very happy about the way he had maintained that arrangement. That's how people get promoted. People think people get promoted for nothing. People get promoted for such good work. That's how it is. So look, my brothers and sisters, let us work for our people. Go to police stations. That is my last message. Manage, supervise our police officers. Go to police stations, sit down with your police officers, and let us not pull rank all the time. How I am now assistant commissioner, my assistant inspector general, I can't sit with these ones. I agree with you, and these days I take guidance from the IG and Banambogo and Gabo on what needs to happen. I respect rank, fine. But you know, you are managers. These are managers. You are managers. As a manager, rank is not that important to you. What is important, first of all, is the result. Rank is good, yes, but results are important, that you are getting the results. Go to police stations. That is my demand of you. Go to police stations in your jurisdiction. Drive in there and find out how are those police officers staying. How are they working? Sometimes turn up in the morning. You know, during the parade, you don't have to announce. Just turn up in the morning. Wake up in the morning. You are in Kakamega, you are the Western Regional Police Commander. Wake up in the morning and drive to Viga. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8, you are in Viga. Sit down there, ask them, mumeamkaje, mumelala namna gani, what is going on, and so on and so forth. Otherwise, you see, sasa kila mtu tukikaa na ukubwa, you are just hold up there, unangoja salute, wewe ni mtu mkubwa, things go wrong in your jurisdiction. That is how Madam Kiko ended up in that police station. They did not find an OVB. He couldn't get it. Looked for it all over the place. I asked him, when were you last visited by a senior police officer? He couldn't remember. Which is an indictment. So, sasa tumekubaliana. We are ready to support you with all the resources you need. And I came here specifically on behalf of the ministry to tell you, on our part at the headquarters, we are ready to implement the President's instructions and the President's demand of us that we support this structure so that we can provide security to our country. Because there is no way we will develop if we actually don't have security. Now it's upon you to take up your new responsibilities with seriousness and focus so that we can deliver security and safety to our people. That is our objective, nothing else. Let's work very objectively. Let's serve our people without any problem. And once again, IG, I promise that we will give these officers all the support that they need to succeed in your respective areas of jurisdiction. And may God bless you. Thank you.
Right, the formal ceremony is over.